A lot of people woke up across the state this morning in fear after several suspected suicide bomb blasts on Monday evening killed 23 people and wounded 146. Now, in a statement out overnight, the Borno Public Relations Officer Nahum Kenneth Dasso confirmed the latest numbers, with videos emerging online showing the aftermath of some of the explosions at the entrance of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital and two local markets known as Post Office and Monday Market. And what we're seeing on social media is honestly just devastating. The panic of innocent citizens, health workers carrying bodies to hospitals, and this overarching fear that their community just isn't safe. Let's watch.
Subhanallah. Again, bomb Monday Market is what I presented. Subhanallah. Men get no question bomb in your taxi. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Bakin wajen security, wajen inda ake checkpoint na security. Wannan ita gani.
But as videos emerge laying out the fear and the panic, videos also emerge almost simultaneously of the security response. According to police, after the explosions, a team of tactical units and military moved in quickly to the affected areas. They conducted sweep operations, and we have video of those sweep operations. We should pull those up for you shortly. Tanks were seen moving through the community, and meanwhile, the Borno State Governor, Babagana Zulum, condemned the explosion in a statement, saying that the recent surge in attacks is not unconnected to recent military operations against the insurgents. And I'll pull up a tweet now from someone on X, his name was Void, who wrote, 23 Nigerians went to Monday Market, walked past a hospital gate and crossed a flyover on an ordinary Monday evening in Maiduguri. They didn't survive. Maiduguri has buried its dead, rebuilt its markets, and sent its children to school through 16 consecutive years of attacks that no other Nigerian city has been asked to absorb for this long. The resilience of this city is one of the most under-documented stories in modern Nigeria. The failure to match that resilience with consistent security is one of the most over-documented ones. Rest in peace to every soul lost tonight. And Rufai, I'll come to you on this story because that last tweet kind of just laid out the amount of just crisis that the state has endured. People still live there, but where do they go from here?
The question we should ask the state, and not only this government, but successive government, is 16, 17 years down the line, since Mohammed Yusuf's case, what they said was the start of Boko Haram, why have we not been able to solve the problem of insecurity? Why is it that 16 years afterwards, it has gained traction, it has gained momentum, it has not abated? If you cast your mind back, these were the things the APC said Jonathan was incompetent for. They called him names. In fact, they said Buhari, being a general, will flush out insecurity in no time. They converted February to February. Yes. They said February is February. Love Buhari. Buhari was a hero of some sorts in this country. APC was the messiah of some sorts that was coming to deliver us from incompetence. But when you check the records today, it looks as though Jonathan did a good job. Can we even say they have been able to match the extent Jonathan did? If you go and check Vice's website, there's a documentary Vice did on Strike Force 82, the embedded team with the mercenaries. How they were able to clear parts of Borno before the elections in 2015. Today, we are seeing killings. Yes, the APC will argue that there were so many places that Boko Haram has raised its flags, but when they came, they cleared it out. When is this going to stop? We've talked about complicity. We've talked about Woro. Till today, we don't know the fate of the people in Woro. Will the government pay ransom as alleged by some foreign newspaper again? What will happen to those people? And it's not only Borno now, it's spread every part of the country. That Americans have to intervene. So the question is, as the president goes on the stage visit anyway, I've said it many times, that if a thing like this happens, the president should be on ground, should be monarch-in-chief.
And to your point, I think, Iowa, before you were mentioning that the president put out a statement on...
yeah, he did.
You see, isn't it shocking that putting out a statement that become a badge of honor of incompetence? Because we keep putting out statements, does this solve the problem? Ayo, I've not seen the statement, but I can predict that the statement will go after the perpetrators of this act.
Yeah.
Did they write it there?
He did say that they were going to go against terrorism, but he first of all identified with the people, talked about the tragedy.
So they will go after the perpetrators then.
Yes.
Can I ask you, honestly?
They'll
be brought to justice.
Because government is on top of the situation.
Yeah,
and then he highlighted the fact that he sent his security chiefs to Maiduguri.
Can we go back to all the statements that have been written and look for those three faces? Government is on top, we'll bring them to justice. Do they ever get to justice? We are seeing the DSS, yes, they said they are trying some people in court. But the people that did the Woro one, did they ever see justice? The people that did the KB one, have they seen justice? So because we bring one or two of them, does it mean they ever get to justice? Those that are collecting ransom, that some foreign media are claiming that the government paid ransom to, do they ever get justice? So we will see that trajectory. In fact, it's become a reflection of our incompetence every time we write those statements. We'll send the service chief. Yes, security chief. It's the security chief who voted for on the ballot. He's the one that promised to give Nigerians security. Send the vice president. He's the vice president we voted for on the ballots. He's the one that promised. He's the one that come out for mandates. Today, very soon now, next year, January, before now, they will start campaigning asking for mandates. They will still tell you they will end insecurity. They will bring us statistics and say they've killed this number of bandits and terrorists, but the insecurity improves. So as at that time when he's campaigning, is the vice president that we are voting for, Abi?
Can I just say, sorry, very quickly, that this...
Ron, let's watch. And in a similar vein, another video has shocked a lot of users online that reportedly took place during these same protests, as it appears to show a group of supporters of this same movement drag a man in the middle of a crowd, put a Donald Trump mask on his face before proceeding to torture him. Let's watch. Now, we've covered, these videos, these protests before on what's trending, but members of the Islamic movement of Nigeria, as I said, they've staged a number of protests, but as we see, they're gathering massive in-person crowds, and what really stands out is the range of ages of the men in these protests, and this idea that there's a transfer of ideology and beliefs from one generation to the next. Ion, you were saying, we don't really see these kinds of mass protests for a lot of other, Nigerian causes. Popularity for Iran.
I mean, you can understand that because the Shiite Muslims in Nigeria ideologically are linked to, to Iran, the Ayatollah, as the leader of Shiite Muslims around the world. But I think it's also important for us. I remember when this case of protest started, not at this large, on this large scale, one of the things we had asked was that for security agents to ensure that they were able to manage this so it doesn't escalate. It's like a combustible environment that any small spark can, cause a reaction, a very, deadly reaction in some cases. Number one is that these people who are marching and protesting, we have bigger issues back home. Let me just be real. They are bigger. We just talked about 23 people dying and hundreds of people being injured in the Northeast. Are they as concerned about fixing what's going on back home? Then I think it's also, there's a thin line between expressing your right to freedom of expression and right to peaceful protest. And also, because whether you like it or not, some people in Nigeria support the Trump administration. Imagine if they also came out to start their own protest. It would just be chaotic. So it's important that in expressing rights and freedom, there's also common sense and a measure of restraint. And I believe that the Nigerian state should handle this before it gets out of hand. Anyone can go and protest for or against what they believe in, but it must be done in such a way that it will not hit up the polity. Right. I think national security above in a number of these things that people are doing, because we've seen people come out to protest for things that are not as inflammatory as this, and they are held or arrested, charged to court. And we see people marching and burning effigies of a man that has a number of support. And don't forget, Nigeria also has a very good relationship with the United States of America. We cannot discount these things. Right. So it looks like fun and games, expression of rights, but we must be able to know when a joke is or not a fun, but when things are taken too far, or just on the edge of something that could potentially be more, more dangerous. I think security agents should step in now and bring some common sense, and let us be more passionate about things that are back home. And Nigeria first, let us have the culture of that, deal with our issues, and let the superpowers or the powers that be deal with their issues in the Middle East. What is more important for us is how that war is affecting us in Nigeria. We're talking about the cost of fuel, we're talking about oil prices, we're talking about the cost of living. Those are the things that we should come out to talk about and encourage our government to do something to protect the lives of the ordinary Nigerians. This thing, I don't know to what extent, but I believe that the security agents should take this as a matter of national security. It's very important. It can spark up anyway, anyhow. What if the Trump supporters come out to and say, okay, we want to burn effigies? Right. It doesn't make any sense.
And you provided the perfect segue to, talk about issues